Hello, fifth grade, and welcome to Science 7.4, the 8 planets. Now, when I grew up, let me tell you, there were 9 planets. So, it's kind of funny. I'm wondering, do you know which planet they actually took away and said was no longer a planet? Pluto, right. So now I grew up thinking Pluto was the teeniest, tiniest little planet farthest away. But then I guess now they've figured out Pluto isn't a planet, but I think in my heart, Pluto will always be a planet. So we are going to actually talk about the 8 planets that they still say exist, which obviously they do because they've been sending tons and tons of little satellites and voyage-type spaceships, basically, all the way out into outer space. Now, the unique thing about outer space is imagine how big our Earth is, right? We've not only talked about how big our Earth is, we've now talked about how big our sun is and our moon, but imagine an entire universe so much more bigger than that, and that is our solar system. Now, God created everything so amazingly and in its perfect place. So as we go through the 8 planets, you're going to see that every single planet has its own unique temperatures. It's made out of gases or solid materials. They don't have water. They don't have plant life. I mean, there's all these other things. There's fogs. There's rings. There's gases around them. There's all these unique things. But the one thing I think is so interesting is that God planned Earth to be right in the right place. He put Earth so far away from the sun, but not too far. He put Earth perfectly right where the sun would give it warmth, but then it could also give it coolness, meaning our night, so light and dark. It also did it not too far away where we'd freeze to death, but not too close where we'd burn up in temperatures. He also created all the temperatures here on Earth for us and our bodies and our temperatures of water and all the things that go on Earth. And I think that's just so magnificent. And sometimes I think we forget about all those unique things. Now, as we go through our solar system, we want to remember that there are 8 and they go in position of closest to the sun. Now, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, the first 4, those are called the inner planets. Now, those are the planets that are closest to the sun, and those planets have more of a solid foundation. Then we have Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, and those are more gaseous type, non-solid planets, and those are farther away. Those are called the outer planets. Now, there are some facts that you're going to need to know about the solar system. A lot of these you might already know, so this might be an easy section for you if you remember them. 1, you have Mercury. Mercury is the closest to the sun, right? Pretty easy to remember. It's the closest. It's number 1, okay? Then we have the second one, Venus. Venus, I want to remind you, is the brightest planet, okay? It is also called Earth's twin. Now, it's unique because when we really got into learning about it, the reason why they thought it was the Earth's twin was because it was close, it was kind of in size and shape, and it was close to the sun and the way that it looked, and they thought that it had water on it. But as we learned more and more about it, we learned that it doesn't have water on it, that it can't sustain life, and really it's not anywhere near Earth's twin because it doesn't have anything like us on it, but they went ahead and call it the Earth's twin. Now, the third planet closest to the sun is Earth, and Earth is the only planet suitable for life. And like I said, it's so interesting how God put it perfectly where he needed it to be so that it could sustain human life. Okay, then we have Mars. Mars is the 4th planet, and Mars they also thought could possibly sustain life, but they've realized, again, no water. And Mars is called the red planet. Sometimes we can actually see Mars on certain clear nights. Now we have the 5th planet, Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in the sky. It also has a big, great spot on it, a red spot, that actually is as big as, I think it was a few Earths, but I do know that the interesting thing about Jupiter is that it is 1,300 times bigger than Earth. That's crazy. That's huge, actually. That's why it's the largest in the solar system. Okay, now we have Saturn. Now Saturn has 7 rings, and it actually has about 60 moons, okay, which is really unique. It is looks similar, you know, because of the rings, to Jupiter, but it's not as big. It is actually the second largest in the solar system. Now we have the 7th planet in the solar system. Now, Uranus was actually discovered by Sir William Herschel, and it is actually a planet that's kind of tipped on its side, because you know how we have the north and south poles on the Earth, and they spin and kind of go around this way. Well, the interesting thing about Uranus is its poles are actually sideways. So it's kind of got a few little rings as well, a little bit less, and I think those are more like gases and stuff, but it actually is tipped over on its side. Pretty unique, right? And then we have Neptune, and Neptune is the farthest a planet away from the Earth, and it also is a royal blue atmosphere and has really strong winds. And it also has a moon on it named Triton. So that's a really big moon that's going around it, and it is, as you read about Triton, it's actually a pretty unique moon, and it is very large, I think almost as large as Earth, and it is going around Neptune, the one farthest away from the sun. Okay. So for this section, 1, you need to know these in order and how you would go ahead and place them in the solar system. And 2, you need to know all those fun facts about them. Now this again might be something you guys have already learned, but I wanted to recap it for you because this is our 8 planets in the solar system.